Alright, welcome back. We're back in the Minecraft, back in the mines. And if you don't recognize where we are actually in the mines. This is the strip mine. I've just made it bigger because I made room for a tunnel bore. I think I've got enough space set up for it, but I might have to, increase size once I get it built. The problem is, I don't have any coral fans. And so what can I do when I can't go into the ocean? I can't go out in the sun in the overworld, so I can't go into the ocean. But what I think I can do, I haven't tested it, but I think it's possible, is I could probably try to find a warm ocean biome and just bone meal underwater. Like find like a cave that's like filled with water, like one of those like underwater noodle cave type things, and bone meal the ground or the walls or whatever, and use that to get coral fans. I should be able to do that. My other problems are terracotta, but I can make terracotta from clay. And there's some pretty nearby, like lush cave biomes, so there's plenty of clay around there. So that's not a big issue. The other issue is TNT itself. I have exactly 3 blocks of TNT. I don't know what happened to all my gunpowder. I must have lost it, or I must have just like thrown it out thinking I wouldn't need it or whatever. But I do need to secure some kind of a source of TNT. So I think what I'm going to be doing, like, I'm just going to cut, and I'm probably just going to be digging and digging and digging and digging until I can try to find a warm ocean biome. And then after that, I might see about building some kind of creeper farm. I don't know, something. But anyway, yeah. Let's get to it. Okay, so 3 IRL days later, and we finally made it. Oh, wrong button. There we go. As you can see, I went on a trip. So home base is there we go. That's home base. Like that's the storage room. There's crops. There's like the old dump chest area here. There's like part of the farming area. That's like the industrial area here. So I originally set out north, and I followed the long cavern kind of up to, they kind of like dead ended around here. Like it dead ended in this area. And so I continued north. I did go through the deep dark, and so I did manage to pick up some skulk sensors and a skulk catalyst. So I can use those for future projects. And I went all over the north because you can see all this deep, lukewarm ocean and stuff. Yeah, you can see like some of these like long paths I was taking. There's a couple over there. I explored a little bit over here. Then after that adventure, I came back to my base, restocked, and I did a little bit going out. I went out to around 0, 0. Like I just kind of went out this way and out this way here, and that was just all like deep cold ocean. And so then I actually bothered to open up chunk base, and I found on chunk base there was a little bit of a warm ocean down in here. I just had to make sure that it was the same, and that like world generation was messed up. Like Explorify does tamper with world generation a bit, so I just had to make sure that the biomes were at least reasonably close. I took an adventure down here. It took 2 IRL days for me to like carve all this, because each one of those squares is a chunk. And yeah, it's all the way over there, all the way over there, all the way over there. Actually, I got so much loot. Let me boop. There we go. Yeah. So this is just from this section. Like, I looted everything. I repacked stuff. And yeah, so this is just boxes and boxes and boxes. Like I got so much copper. I got so much stuff. I almost completely burned through Soul Glow. And I started having to use Moneymaker for a while. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, since it is Fortune, I've been getting XP to like keep it up, but I've got at least like a box and a half of like cobbled deep slate. And yes, you can see I did test, and we can get coral fans down here just by bone mealing. So I think that's what I'll probably be doing is. Oh, damn. Eh. Oh man, am I gonna have to go back and like XP farm? Hopefully I can get like at least a couple dozen out of this trip. Okay, so that's all done now. We got about 60-ish coral fans. I actually didn't really need all that much bone meal. And yeah, I didn't need to create my own water source, so I brought the buckets. So yeah, let's start the journey back. This is going to take quite some time. Got probably about 6,000 blocks to travel. Well, yeah. See you tomorrow. Okay, we're back at the base. Not really a day later. It was probably only about an hour of me running back. And doing a little bit of mining along the way. Yeah. Yeah, we really... God, we went so far. But anyway, yeah, this is the haul. This is all the stuff from like day 2 and 3. Day 1 I already packed away. And yeah. Some of it's like waiting to get smelted, and some of it's already been packed away with like the deep slate ores. They're all packed away over there in the decorative box. Yeah, I'm packing stuff into shulkers and getting all this organized and whatnot, and going into the search system. And yeah, so far it's coming along. You know, I got you know, about a dozen stuff in boxes and whatnot. And yeah, over here I built bulk storage. This one, God, it took a couple hours. I think I watched the entirety of Dread building this, like the entirety of the Dread movie. Rewatched it, rather. I've watched it like 6 times. I love that movie. Man, Carl Urban does such a good job as Dread. But yeah, for now it's just feeding from this chest. It's not hooked up to like any unloader system yet. That's coming. Yeah. Yeah, spoils will eventually get organized. Other than that, let's see. I did build this between episodes. This one I was... I threw on a YouTube episode. I think it was a review of like love hotels in Japan. I don't know. It's just the weird stuff I watch. It's like like reviewing the hotel based on like name and you know what it looks like and all that. And I don't know. It's just something to watch. And yeah, over here you can see I've cleaned up a bit. I moved the the portal over into the storage room as well. You might have seen it. I totally forgot about that. And yeah, we've got this area mostly packed up. If you remember, this whole thing was piled up with stuff, and there are piles and piles of boxes of deep slate and cobbled deep slate and stone and cobblestone and all that. And that's all now in bulk storage. And yeah, eventually I'll get this all taken care of. And yes, you did hear that right. You heard the croak of Mr. Frog. I haven't named him yet, but we do have a frog. Between episodes, I was waiting up. I spent like a couple hours just AFK, just watching movies and like editing videos, and I was just like kind of up by the entrance, and I built a mob trap up there. I'll eventually do it. I guess maybe episode 10, I'll do a full walkthrough, like a full uncut walkthrough of the base and everything that's been done, just to like kind of orient everybody. And yeah, I built a mob trap up there to trap, like, I was hoping for a sheep. Honestly, I was hoping for like a pair of sheep to like kind of wander by and fall in, but we only got this frog. And while waiting for wandering traders, I did get one come by, and I got $4 a tadpole out of them. So yeah, I might build a froglight farm, maybe. Other than that, nothing really has been removed from the list. Just like coral fans got pulled from the list because, went out and got those myself. I think that's it for the board. Yeah, nothing new over here. Yeah. But yeah, the super smelter, I like super smelters in principle, but I don't know that they're useful. Really, I don't know. Like I have a feeling if I can, what I'm gonna do, but like between like now and the next scene is I'm gonna be packing all this stuff away. I'm gonna move, like, I'm gonna do like a super smelt of like, all the stuff I managed to collect, and if I can just do it all in like the blast furnaces, I'll just tear all that down. Like if it's not gonna take that long for me to get through it with the blast furnaces, I'll just tear down the super smelters. Like, I like them in theory. I just don't know that super smelters are actually like really useful. Every time I built one just because, like, hey, it's a fun project, but they almost never really get used unless I need to get like a ton of glass, like a ton of glass. Alright, so we have everything smelted down. Everything's kind of packed up in here. It's not a ton, but I think it's still quite a bit. We got like, what, maybe 19 stacks of coal, 10-ish stacks of redstone dust, maybe 11 stacks, about 5-ish stacks, 6-ish stacks of 5-ish of diamonds, 6-ish of lapis, about, what, 12 iron, about 19, 20 copper, 12-ish gold. And we also got red glazed terracotta that will eventually go into the tunnel bore, because there's, stuff that you need to not stick together. And the final verdict on the super smelter was, I just stripped it out. Man, super smelters, they're fine in in theory. Like, in theory, a super smelter is a good addition. But even when I was working on the kinds of scale where a super smelter would sorta make sense, like where I was working on like my pyramid that was like 16 chunks by 16 chunks and, multi-leveled, all that. Even that, I didn't really need a super smelter for. Like, I built it and I did like a couple stacks, like a couple shulkers of glass, and a couple shulkers of like turning cobblestone into stone, and even then, I didn't really need it. So I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm just going to expand this. I'm going to make it maybe like 6 or 8 wide. I might make it 6 wide at first, and then just kind of, if that's good enough, keep it there, or if I need like a little bit more, I'll make it 8 wide. I don't know, and I'll do the same on this side as well. Because like, it really didn't take all that long with blast furnaces. It took maybe like 40 minutes to smelt like multiple shulker boxes worth of materials. And it was probably like 2.5, maybe 3 shulker boxes worth of stuff. And it just was not that big of a deal. I think I'll keep it like that. I don't know, like I said, super smelters, they're fine in theory, but in practice, they're just so useless. And so that just leaves gunpowder. Gunpowder is the final step for the tunnel bore. I think I have everything else that I need. Like, I got plenty of honey blocks. I've got, like, probably about, like, 15 stacks of honey blocks. So that should be enough to, make all the stuff that I need, for the tunnel bore, sticky-wise. Gunpowder, the issue is, I was thinking about building a creeper farm. The problem is, this place is riddled with slime chunks. Absolutely riddled with slime chunks. So the more I torch up, the more slimes I'm going to have spawning, inside my base. And it's already an issue. Like, it's already a problem. You don't see it because I usually cut it out of my recordings, but let me go back over here and I can show you the box. All of this, there we go. All of this is slime balls that I've gotten from slimes that just spawn around the base. So, yes, it's a problem. And if I torch up around the base, and I build a creeper farm, inside the industrial area, that's just going to increase, it's going to massively increase the amount of slimes that are spawning. So, I think instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to go out, I'm going to hunt for some creepers. I'm going to see, like, how many I get in maybe, like, an hour of just, going into a mine shaft and just running back and forth down a mine shaft, killing creepers and whatnot, and, doing what I can to get some gunpowder together. If I get a lot of it, if I get, like, enough to finish the project, then I'll just leave it at that. If not, if I can only get, like, less than a stack or so, I think what I might do is I might build a ghast farm in the nether. And I think that would probably be better, because it won't mess with, like, spawn rates or anything here, so I think that'll probably be the better option. Rather than having, like, mob farms inside my base. So I decided to come to stronghold number 2 for a little bit of farming of that gunpowder. This is one that I made. I wanted to make a secondary location for a sand duper, a gravity block duper, but for some reason mushrooms aren't destroying end portal frames anymore, so I kind of abandoned that idea for now. And yeah, after about an hour-ish of farming, I got about a little over 3 stacks of gunpowder. Should be plenty for our current project, plus maybe a little bit more for rockets left over, so yeah, let's head on back to the base and make some TNT. Alright, good news, bad news time. Good news is we have 36 blocks of TNT. That should be enough for me to make the tunnel bore and have a little bit left over. I think if I did my math right, I'll need 30 blocks. If not, I might need to go get more. Bad news is we're out of sand. So I have some gunpowder left, but I don't have the sand to make the rest of the TNT. So, that's actually why I wanted the sand duper, so I just never run out of sand or concrete or gravel or anything like that. Yeah, I could do a lot with, like, say, like colored concrete or concrete dyes. I could use those for pixel art and whatnot, but oh well. With the whole, for some reason mushrooms aren't destroying those end portal frames for some reason. I have no idea why. I didn't see anything on like the update, like the update logs. I don't know, but I've done it before. For some reason, it's not working this time. It's just making like a hollow space in the mushroom where it should be destroying the end portal block. So I don't know if that was just fixed since the last time I did it, but I didn't see anything in like change logs or on like the end portal frame and yeah, like the block update history or whatever. But anyway, I think this will about wrap it up for this episode. Checking recording times, it's looking like it's going to be like, I don't know, like a 25-30 minute episode. But yeah, between episodes, I will be building the tunnel bore. I might have to put out another episode in between, like some other episode. I have one that I have recorded and is ready to go, so I'll probably be doing that after this one. So yeah. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.